What's new under the sun? Malibu Barbie now. With sunny super gold hair.
Malibu Barbie has her own beach towel and sunglasses and Malibu friends, all with that suntan skin that makes them look great wherever they go.
This Barbie is nearly 50 years old. And let's face it, it kind of shows. Her hair is sticking up crazy, and her tan lines are, chipping off. To top it all off, the vinyl of her head has discolored and has gotten much, much darker than her body, and her hair is getting pretty thin. Now, for a doll that is nearly half a century old, she certainly could look worse. She is a 1977 Sunset Malibu PJ, and all those years ago, she was extremely cute. I am a sucker for the Steffi face, and I think PJ is so cute. But over the course of the years, she's definitely been worn and torn. And who knows how many kids she has been played with over the course of 50 years and how many hands she's been passed down through. And so I think that it's really cool and really special to get to give her a total makeover and do my best to restore her. Now, the first thing that I had to worry about with this doll is what I'm going to do with her body, because as you can see, her tan line, like I said, is totally chipping off. To restore her, I basically needed to remove what's left of the tan lines by removing the paint or painting it back on. And I was leaning more towards just removing the tan lines, because if I paint it, it's just gonna chip off again. And I'm not a huge fan of the tan lines to begin with. I think it's a little weird. But ultimately, I thought, you know, her head doesn't even match her body anymore. Her head is quite a bit darker than her original body, and I think that she would be better off if I just gave her a new body that was a little bit darker and matched her head a little bit better. And so that's what I ended up doing. And so my first order of business was to make like the French and behead her. And luckily I am a Barbie hoarder, and so I have a drawer full of beheaded Barbie bodies. Just for a situation like this. And so I found one that matches her head a little bit better than her original body that I think is from the late 80s. And so her body is going to be quite a bit newer than her head, but that's all right. I'm not too worried about that. And her original body, I'm going to keep in that same drawer, and you never know when another Barbie is going to match a body and that you're gonna need it. So now that I've got her a new body and I put her head onto it, it's time for me to restore her like I would any other doll. So obviously this doll has some very, very crazy hair, and it looks like it's been in like pigtails or a ponytail for round about 50 years. So I'm going to go to extensive lengths to try to get her hair to lay flat again. It's a tall order, and so to combat that, I am going to use some fabric softener on it. And then following my use of fabric softener, I am going to add some conditioner into her hair, and I'm going to brush it out and try to flatten it down as much as I possibly can. And it is tough. And I'm also trying to be a lot more careful than I normally would be with Barbie hair, because she already does not have very much hair. She probably should be rerooted, honestly, because of how thin her hair is, and it's really coarse and it's not cooperating at all. And so it would be much easier if I would just reroot her, but I try to avoid rerooting as much as I possibly can, because it's just not something that I enjoy doing. So after brushing her hair all the way through and off camera giving her a little bit of a oil wash, this is what she came out looking like. Obviously already a pretty big improvement. Her hair is laying down. I didn't know that it could still do that. But we're obviously not out of the woods yet. I still have to style it and make it look good, and I have to worry about, you know, the thinness that she has. So when it comes to styling her hair, I am going to take my flat iron, and I'm going to put it on the very, very lowest heat setting. It works really well for Barbie hair. I've never had a problem as long as it's on the lowest heat setting, and so I am going to use this flat iron to try to flatten down her hair and straighten it. I'm not going to do anything too crazy with her hair because I am worried about, you know, how old it is and pulling out or ruining any more because she already doesn't have a whole lot to spare. And so section by section, I am just going to be straightening her hair, and I'm going to be pulling her hair back and getting straight down to where the root is, flatten it down with my flat iron just so it lays down flat, because it's gotten trained over the years of being in like ponytails or pigtails, and that's why her hair was so crazy to begin with. And so I have to totally retrain it by using some heat with my flat iron and trying to iron it back down. And as you can see, it's pretty effective. Obviously the coarseness of her hair makes it just kind of sticks up in whatever direction you flat iron it to, and it doesn't really have a whole lot of movement to it like newer Barbie hair would. It's very coarse. So then once I get her hair down and flat and looking a little bit better, I am going to take the front sections of her hair and hair tie them down flat. And the reason that I'm doing this is, one, because I think it's gonna look pretty cute. The other reason is that this is going to do a lot to cover up the thinness that she has, especially in the front of her hair. Because if you remember, she has some very thin hair rooting at the base of her hair, like on her forehead. And so flattening down the hair and tying it back like this is going to cover the front of her hair and make sure that the hair is always covering the front, and so you don't notice that thinness quite as much. And then on top of that, I'm going to add a ribbon headband to her hair. And this is also to kind of cover up some of that thinness because, you know, on the sides of her hair, there just aren't very many hair plugs. It's kind of something that I've noticed with older vintage Barbies is that they didn't really do as many hair plugs as they do nowadays. They just focused a lot at the part, and then there was very thin rooting on the sides. It just made for some pretty bald looking dolls if you don't style the hair exactly the way that it came in the box. And so I'm not trying to give her pigtails again. I'm trying to give her something a little bit different. And so by doing that, I'm going to have to make some adjustments to make sure that her hair looks fully rooted. And so originally I was going to use this pink ribbon headband, but I changed my mind after I put it on, and I changed what outfit I wanted to give her, and so I ultimately became a white headband rather than a pink one, but the system I used to put it on was the same. So this is what she looks like with her hair all finished, and obviously I think that she's looking a lot better. Her hair is flat down and it's cooperating, or at least appearing to cooperate a little bit better after I have put lots of time and energy in flattening it with my flat iron. And next, there really isn't a whole lot left to do but to give her all of her accessories and her outfit and finish her off. So for her jewelry, I am just going to use some chains and a metal stud to pierce her ears and to give her some earrings. Don't worry, the metal studs that I use for her earrings are stainless steel, and so they shouldn't give her any kind of green ear issues that you would get with metal jewelry. To put them in, I just basically eyeball it. I put the metal stud through basically the middle of her earlobe like you would put a real earring. You don't have to be super precise because it is a small area and it's hard to go wrong if you just put it straight in the middle. And that's what she looks like after that. I think that she looks really good, make her look a lot more expensive, and really elevate her look so far. And now to give her an outfit, I am going to give her this really cute halter vest with a collar. I thought it looked really 70s and really cute. I think it matches her makeup really well too, and it harkens back to, you know, her origins. And what would a 70s Barbie be without bell-bottom jeans? And so I gave her these really cute bell-bottom jeans, and I think that they go really well with this halter top that she's got. And then to match those earrings that I gave her, I'm going to give her a wraparound oversized chain belt. And then finally, to top her all off, I'm just going to give her these basic white strappy heels. It doesn't really matter what her heels look like because they are going to be hidden underneath underneath those bell-bottom jeans, and you're not really ever gonna see them, but we will know that they are there. So now, next is going to be the big reveal. But first, if you like doll restoration, doll revamp content like this, make sure to mosey on over to that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video and you found it entertaining or you learned something new, make sure to hit that like button. And let me know what you think about this Barbie and her revamp down in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys think. And there she is, all dolled up and fixed up as best as I could. Obviously, she's not perfect. I mean, she's a very, very old doll, and with the discoloration on her face, there isn't really a body that matches her very well anymore. But I thought the one that I gave her did a pretty good job, and her outfit, I think, screams 70s. I love it. I think it's so cute on her. I think it suits her really well. I think it matches her makeup super well, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. I think she ended up looking like Marsha from the Brady Bunch, you know, something like that. I think that it's a really cute look, and I think that she pulls it off really well. So now I'm just going to add her to my collection here with my other Barbies. I'm gonna set her right next to her fellow vintage Barbie, the 80s Barbie that I did a few weeks ago, and her revamp is complete. Thank you so much to everybody that made it to the very end of the video. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next week with a new doll revamp. Bye!